Have you ever just felt that itch, that pull of a journey before you even know where you're going? That feeling that just says, go? Well, today, we're going to dive into how poets manage to capture that exact feeling using just words to draw a map to adventure. Let's get into it. So, what is it, really? What's that little spark that makes someone look up from their everyday life and just decide to head out into the unknown? It's a feeling we've all had, and it turns out poets have been charting that territory for centuries. And believe it or not, the clues are hidden right there in poetry. See, poets are absolute masters at capturing that moment of pure inspiration. You know, the feeling before the journey even starts, when it's all still just a dream in your head. Okay, so our first stop on this poetic map is what I like to call dreaming on the page. This is where it all begins. It's where the whole journey is imagined and felt long before anyone takes a single step. Just listen to these lines for a second. The speaker isn't out climbing a mountain or sailing the sea, not yet. They're just in a room with a map. But with these simple words, an ordinary object becomes this incredible tool for exploration. You can almost feel the paper in your hands, right? That sense of pure possibility? That feeling, that power to actually see the journey before it even happens? Well, that's a technique poets use called visualization. It's super powerful. They're not just telling us about the dream of travel, they're making us live it right there with them. And it all comes down to their specific word choices. Think about it. Smoothing, rolling, peering. These aren't just random verbs. They're sensory details that drop us right into that room, dreaming alongside the speaker as that map turns into a window to the entire world. And how about this line? It's so simple, but gives me chills. Maps are keys to secret places. Seriously, what does that bring up for you? What kind of secret doors could a map possibly unlock? Yup, calling a map a key right there, that's a classic metaphor. The poet is taking two totally different things and smashing them together to create this brand new, way deeper meaning. Now, obviously, a map isn't a literal key you put in a lock, but by calling it one, the poet completely transforms it. It goes from a piece of paper to something, well, something magical, an object that can unlock whole new worlds and experiences. It's basically a shortcut to a really powerful feeling. All right, so if visualization and metaphor create the dream of the journey, what's the compass that guides us through the poem itself? Well, for that, we need to talk about structure. Listen to the music in these lines. Voyaging over oceans and seas, crossing rivers, ice, and trees. You hear that, right? That kind of pulse? It's created by rhyme, and it's not just there to sound pretty. It literally pulls you through the poem, just like a current in the water. So what we just heard is called end rhyme, because the rhyming words are at the very end of the lines. Pretty straightforward. But poets have other tricks, like tucking rhymes inside a single line. We call that internal rhyme. Either way, they both act like a drumbeat for our journey, creating a rhythm that keeps us moving. And when poets arrange these rhymes into a pattern that repeats, that's what we call a rhyme scheme. The best way to think about it is like the poet is charting a course on a map. The rhymes become these predictable landmarks that guide us through the poem, letting us know we're on the right track. But a poet's compass is more than just sound. Sometimes the actual shape of the words on the page, the poem's visual structure, is what controls the whole pace of our journey. Okay, look at these opening lines. No place on earth is ever undiscovered. They're short, they're punchy, you read them fast, almost like you're reading a headline. The pace feels quick, direct, almost like a statement of fact. But now, check out what happens at the end of the exact same poem. The lines stretch out. They get longer, more winding. Your eyes naturally slow down as you read. The whole feeling changes. It becomes more thoughtful, more mysterious. And trust me, that shift is no accident. That deliberate control over the speed of the poem, over its pacing, that, my friends, is the power of rhythm. The poet is basically a director, using line breaks and pauses to speed us up or slow us down, and it completely shapes how we experience the story. You can think of rhythm as the poem's heartbeat. It can race with excitement one moment and then slow way down in a moment of quiet wonder. By controlling this pulse, the poet isn't just telling us about a journey, they're controlling exactly how it feels to us, second by second. So, there we have it. We've charted the poet's map. We've seen how they use words to create the dream, and how they use structure to guide us along the path. The real question is, how do you use this map to start your own expedition into a poem?
Well, here's a simple 4-step strategy you can use as your own little explorer's toolkit. It's super easy. First, just notice things. What sounds cool? What images pop out? Second, ask questions. What's going on here? Third, connect it to something you already know. And finally, just respond. How does it make you feel? It's a fantastic way to start any reading adventure.
See, a poem is so much more than just words on a page. It really is a map with its own landmarks, its own compass, and its own secret destinations waiting to be found. And now, you have the tools to read that map. The only question left is, where will your first journey take you?